Date. So that we can sit down and discuss our partnership further. Thanks. Marketing Director of Constellations. Resort. Subject. Partnership with City Malls. Dear Miss Adriana. Our boss has approved your proposal and would like to meet with you in person. Thanks. Assistant to the President. Subject. Improved partnership between Islands Inc. and Elysia Malls. Dear Miss Adriana. Our management would like to firm up the partnership between Elysia Malls and Islands Inc. Our VP and Miss Iana Reyes would like to set up a meeting with you next week. At your own convenience. Thanks. Camila Montero. Assistant to the President. Subject. Partnership with Breeze Air. Dear Miss Adriana Hernandez Reyes. I would like to partner with Islands Inc. on various projects. Thanks. Ray Lawrence. Subject. Partnership with Above Air. Dear Miss Adriana. We would like to further meet on your proposal. Please give us your soonest availability. Thanks. Head of Marketing, Above Air. Adriana was most surprised with the emails coming from Elysia Malls and Breeze Air. She already had an existing partnership with Elysia Malls. She didn't see the reason why she would need to meet up with the VP for operations as well as Iana Reyes. As for Breeze Air, it was the largest airline in the country. She had been afraid to approach such a big company with her proposal, so she approached the smaller Above Air first. With the amount of potential partnerships and sales that had just landed in her lap, Adriana had to get her whole team involved. She asked for her newly appointed assistant to get all the marketing and sales team heads and supervisors into an emergency meeting in 5 minutes. The assistant and the teams were quite efficient and they arrived at the meeting room prior to the time Adriana had said. When she walked in, it seemed everyone was nervous. You can all calm down. No one is getting fired. With what Adriana said, the employees started to breathe and act normally. They seemed to have been worried that with a change in management many people would be replaced as well. Before anything, I'll reintroduce myself. For those that don't know me, I'm Adriana Hernandez Reyes, and yes, I'm married. I won't fire anyone just because you used to work for my cousin. My husband is also an ordinary worker, so I understand the struggle. Okay, now down to business. Adriana gave a quick introduction and asked her assistant to pass around folders, each with a company inside. Today we got over 10 written agreements that their companies would like to partner with us. The hardest will probably be the Elysia Mall partnership, followed by Saints Hospital, then Breeze Air, and fourth will be Constellations Resorts. The others will be relatively easy compared to those four, Adriana explained. Everyone was surprised at what she had just said. Adriana had been in the position of VP for marketing and sales for less than a week, and already companies that had rejected them in the past were lining up to work with them. You all have a week to polish and finish presentations and proposals for these companies. Surprisingly for most of them, we won't be meeting with just the marketing director or sales director. We will actually be meeting with presidents and CEOs. Adriana gave a very tight timeline to her team before dismissing them. Chapter 67. Blank. 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 Enjoying Never Judge. Join my Discord server. https://discord.gg/pxnt6uh. Blank. 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 As soon as the meeting was done, the whole Islands Inc. was abuzz with gossip. Many of the employees had just found out that Adriana had managed to get all of their difficult clients on the table. Something that John Hernandez had been trying for years. When news reached Matthew Hernandez's office, he quickly called Adriana to congratulate her. When were you going to tell me you had landed such big accounts? Adriana's uncle Matthew asked proudly. I was going to tell you when the deals were closed. They are mostly in the proposal process. Adriana tried to calm his excitement. All of these companies have snubbed us in the past, Adriana, especially the Reyes group. They always ignored John and Frederick for some reason. Matthew had always been puzzled on why the Reyes group never even seemed to open their proposals when it came to Islands Inc. Many of their contemporaries have had less favorable deals, but deals nonetheless. I'm just hoping that we can close deals with them and get an even better deal with Elysia Malls. They invited me to meet for a bigger deal, Adriana said. Still, congratulations, Adriana. You seem to be Islands Inc.'s lucky charm. I'm sure you're busy today with your Lobo family. Side arriving, Matthew said, escorting Adriana out of his office. Yes, Mom's family is coming over for Amanda's graduation. Cedric and I are picking them up at the airport later, then having dinner at Bamboo Room. Grandpa was kind enough to lend a driver. Adriana said. Will you fit in your car? Matthew asked. Yeah, Cedric got a new car, so we just need a driver for the second one. Adriana explained. Wow, Cedric has a new car. Is it a Toyota? Or a Mitsubishi? Matthew asked. It's an Audi R8. It seems that more company is very generous to its employees. Adriana was proud of the new nice things Cedric got due to his new job. No one could say that he didn't work for it. Wow, good for Cedric. I hope our assistants don't hear about that. They might come asking for cars. Matthew teased before finally letting Adriana go. After work, Adriana and Cedric picked the Lobo family up. Cedric drove his Audi, while his driver took Adriana's Toyota Innova. The Hernandez family driver had to back out last minute because he had the stomach flu. The Lobo family had flown in from the northern part of the country. Gracia's marriage to Charles was strategic to both families. Both the factories and raw materials used by Islands Inc. were located in the province where the Lobo family basically ruled. They held almost all the power in that province, from the high-ranking officials to the police chief. The only part of their province that was out of their control was the industry, one of the largest contributors of which was Islands Inc. Among those that were scheduled to arrive were Adriana's maternal grandparents, her mother's older brother, Ivan Lobo, his wife, May Lobo, and their son Jam Lobo. Unlike the Hernandezes, her immediate relatives on the Lobo side were quite few. Aside from those arriving, she just had a cousin, Amanda Lobo, who was quite different from the rest of the family. When they arrived to pick up the Lobos, they were surprised to find an additional guest. Adriana. Adriana's uncle Ivan waved at her. Uncle Ivan, I'm so happy to see you. Adriana hugged her uncle as Cedric helped load their luggage into the two cars. Wow, the Hernandezes must be doing well. Did they give you this new Audi? May Lobo asked her niece. Auntie, this isn't mine. It's Cedric's. Adriana said proudly. Ah, before I forget, Adri, this is Tony Tamano. We ran into him in the airport. He's from the same province as us. Tony and his family run the largest mining company there. They are so big that they supply gold to Loud Jewelry, Ivan said, ignoring Adriana's boast about Cedric's new car. Yes, Ray Lawrence and I go way back. He's actually my junior in university. Tony Tamano boasted. Loud Jewelry was a chain of jewelry shops owned by the Lawrence family. Wow, that's impressive. I went to the same university as Ray Lawrence. I think we were classmates, Adriana said, recalling the events during Asia's engagement party. I see you have an imitation of the North Star set that Loud Jewelry had commissioned, Tony Tamano said, looking at the ring on Adriana's finger. The North Star jewelry set? Adriana asked. She didn't think that her ring and Cedric's together with the matching jewelry that had come with it was fake. After all, Raymond Lawrence had given them that set. Yes, from the gold to the jewels on it, we mined all of them. The gold is the highest quality we ever mined, and the diamonds and sapphires are also the highest quality ever found in the country. Ray said he was going to use it to make a gift for a special friend. We all assumed he would use it to propose someday, Tony explained. He took Adriana's hand and examined the ring closely. It's such a good replica that if I didn't know where the original one was, I would think that this was the original ring. Adriana just nodded, not wanting to offend the guest. Where are we having dinner, Adriana? Jam Lobo asked. Jam was a recent university graduate. He had taken up a business course in university at the capital. Well, we booked a table at the Bamboo Room. Amanda and my parents will meet us there, Adriana said. Can we add one more? I want Tony to join us, Grandpa Lobo asked. Seed, do you think? Adriana asked. Cedric tentatively. She knew how difficult it was to make changes to a reservation at the Bamboo Room. I'll make a call, Cedric said as he took out his phone and walked away. Hey Seed, what's up? Ray asked as he picked up Cedric's call. I have a reservation at the Bamboo Room. And we have an extra guest, Cedric explained. I'll fix it, and it's perfect. The boys and I went straight here from the groundbreaking. I can see you be poor. Sad, Cedric, Ray teased. I'm not sad, Cedric laughed. Fine, you aren't sad. Ray also laughed. Oh, before I forget, there is a Tony Tamano here that is claiming to be good friends with you, he said the rings you gave me and Adriana are fake. Cedric teased. Tony, the name is familiar. Ah. He's the kind you and Eric tricked us to go to. Remember you said you and Eric were having a drink in a bar and Alexi and I ended up going into the kid's birthday party, Ray recalled. He said the gold and jewels on the rings are from their mining sites. Cedric explained. It could be, I just asked for the best of the best to make those rings. I had missed your wedding, because you didn't invite us, and wanted to give you something special. I named the set the North Star. We were working on Constellation back then, so I was inspired. Ray teased. Well, I'll see and not know you that well later, Cedric said, dropping the call. Chapter 68. Blank. Enjoying Never Judge. Join my Discord server. https://discord.gg/pxnt6uh. At Bamboo Room, Ray dropped the call and grinned. What is it this time? A slightly annoyed Alexi asked. Someone is pretending to know again. And he's claiming that the set I gave Cedric and Adriana is fake, Ray said with a dark smile. Ooh, fun. Too bad the girls aren't here, Nicole said. He's with Cedric now, Ram, who was calmly sipping wine, asked. Yeah, we'll get the full story from Cedric later, I'm sure. They are coming here for dinner, Ray said. When Cedric arrived with Adriana and their guests, Cedric could clearly see that his friends were seated at the most expensive table in the room. It was considered the most expensive table because to get a reservation for that table, you would need to reserve months in advance, and there was a minimum order required. That table had the best view of the city from the Bamboo Room. When Ray had found out that Cedric was going there as well, he made sure to put Cedric and his group on the table next to theirs. When Cedric approached, Ray stood up and waved at him. The Hernandez family already knew that Cedric was acquaintances with Raymond Lawrence and was not surprised. The Lobo family, however, did not expect Cedric to know the owner of the Bamboo Room. As a matter of fact, they had just been boasting on how Tony Tamano knew Raymond Lawrence. Mr. Tamano, won't you be saying hi to Mr. Lawrence? He's right there, Adriana's Aunt Patricia nudged. Ah, yes, my good friend Ray. I just don't want to bother him. He's having dinner with the four princes, Tony Tamano said, in what looked to Cedric as a way for him to avoid going up to Ray. Mr. Tamano, the other princes aren't that bad, Cedric said, trying to egg Tony into speaking with them. I guess it wouldn't hurt to make new friends, Tony replied, scratching his head. Tony went up and approached Raymond Lawrence. Mr. Lawrence, it's me, Tony Tamano. We do business for Loud Jewelry. I provided the gold and stones for the North Star collection, Tony said as he approached the table. Hey, can't you see we're eating? Nicole, who was seated between Ray and Miguel, said. Miss, I'm sorry, are you Mr. Lawrence's girlfriend? Tony Tamano asked. Nicole and the others burst out laughing when Tony Tamano asked if Nicole was Ray's girlfriend. I think my personal life isn't important to you, Mr. Tamano. If you would like to talk about business, please set an appointment with my assistant. If you are here to chat, you should know, I don't do chat, Ray said quite coldly, and opposite to how his friends were laughing just now. Ray, I've lost my appetite because of this man. Let's go, Nicole complained. Ray nodded and stood up. The whole group followed him and left. Tony Tamano was left dumbfounded. He didn't even know who that girl was, and one word from her already managed to make all four princes leave. Luckily no one from the Lobo or Hernandez family overheard the conversation, and his pride was still in place. What did Mr. Lawrence say? Adriana's Uncle Ivan asked. Ray said to enjoy our meal. We just did a little chit-chat. He had to go cause that girl with them was acting a little bitchy. Tony lied. Nicole was acting bitchy, Ardiana asked. You know her, Miss Adriana? Tony was surprised that Adriana knew the woman with the four princes. Yeah, that's Nicole Chan. I've met her a couple of times and I have a partnership with their hospital. Oh, and the other guy next to her is her older brother, Miguel Chan, Adriana explained. Nicole Chan, the current VP of Saints Hospital, Tony said in shock. Who did you think she was? Adriana asked. I thought she was Ray's girlfriend, Tony admitted. I'm sure she found that hilarious. Cedric wasn't able to stop himself from commenting. Don't pretend to know them, you're just an assistant, Adriana's Aunt Patricia said. Aunt Patricia, Cedric actually knows Mr. Raymond Lawrence and Mr. Miguel Chan. Also Cedric's boss is the Reyes heir, so he has met the four princes and their sisters. In the past, Adriana didn't bring up the odd events of their dinner with them in pre-mall. That story was just too far fetched. The Lobos would never believe that. Adriana darling, why couldn't you have married someone like Tony Tamano here? Grandma Lobo suddenly said, just like the Hernandezes. They did not approve of Adriana's choice in her husband. Grandma, it's been 5 years since Cedric and I have been married. Can you stop putting him down already? I'm happy with him. Adriana sighed. It seemed that she would never get a break from her family's comments against Cedric. This is all your fault, Charles. Why couldn't you have stepped up like your brothers? You don't even have a role in Islands Inc. Grandpa Lobo scolded. He had always complained about how his son-in-law was the least of the Hernandez siblings. Even his sister Kathy was the head of PR for Islands Inc. It was only Charles that didn't join the family business. Dad, that's such an old issue. And we have a guest. Gracia scolded her father. That's right, we are here to celebrate Amanda's graduation, Adriana's aunt Patricia said quite happily. Chapter 69. Blank. 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 Enjoying never judge. Join my Discord server. https://discord.gg/pxnt6uh. Blank. 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 Amanda, who was seated quietly next to Adriana, smiled back at her mother. Unlike the rest of the Lobo family, Aminata actually liked Cedric. She had always seen Adriana as her older sister. And when she first went to the capital, it was Adriana and Cedric that took care of her and brought her around. Why don't I order the finest wine here and toast to Amanda's graduation? Tony Tamano boasted. Cedric thought to himself that Tony couldn't afford the most expensive wine in the bamboo room, because this is also where Ray and Alexei kept their stash, and both of them were avid collectors of different wines. Miss Adriana, why don't you pick a bottle for us? Tony said, calling a waiter over for the menu. I'm not that knowledgeable when it comes to wines, Adriana admitted. Very well, waiter, I'll have your most expensive wine, Tony announced. Sir, for that we will need to get Mr. Lawrence's approval. The most expensive wine here belongs to his private collection, and we are under strict instructions to call him if anyone asks for the most expensive bottle, the waiter explained to Tony. Tony almost choked when he heard it was part of Mr. Raymond Lawrence's private collection. He wouldn't dare assume he could afford anything that belonged to the private collection. No need to bother Mr. Lawrence. I'll take the most expensive one on the menu, Tony said proudly. The waiter took his order and brought a bottle back to them. Adriana, help me take your grandmother to the bathroom, Ariana's Aunt Patricia said. The trip to the bathroom was a cover for Grandma Lobo and Aunt Patricia to talk to Adriana about Tony Tamano. Adriana, isn't Tony amazing? Aunt Patricia asked Adriana. He's all right, Adriana gave an unimpressed response. You know, when he first saw your picture in the old house, he immediately asked us about you, Grandma Lobo said, clearly excited about something. He thinks you're really pretty, Adriana. Aunt Patricia further said. I'm flattered he finds me pretty, Adriana flatly said. Adriana, don't you see how good it is to have a financially capable man, one that can treat you the way you deserve? Aunt Patricia asked Adriana. Cedric treats me the way I deserve. Much better than those rich boys. I won't be with a man like Alexander Sebastian, that changes women every week, or someone like that Reyes heir, who can't even announce his relationship status to the world. Tony Tamano is no different from them. He probably has a family that will look too lowly on any woman he marries. Or maybe he is a playboy like Mr. Alexander. Those men that inherited their money and power are the worst. They don't know how to work for anything. Adriana already knew what her grandmother and aunt wanted. It was the same thing many of her Hernandez relatives wanted as well. But Adriana, you could be much more with a man like Tony Tamano. Grandma Lobo said. With a man like Cedric, I know I earned everything myself. I know that it isn't him pulling strings in the shadows. I know I'm succeeding because of my skills and not some man's last name. Adriana hated the thought that if she had married someone from a powerful family, everything she would ever get was because she was Married to that man, she always wanted. To prove to the work what she was capable of as Adriana and not as some man's wife. That's the problem with you women. Today, you all think that what a man can do, a woman can do too. There are some heights you will never be able to reach. Adriana, no matter how hard you try. Grandma Lobo scolded her. Granddaughter. I am not leaving my husband, Grandma. Adriana said before storming out. When she exited the bathroom she bumped into Tony Tamano. Whoa there Miss Adriana, are you all right? Tony asked in a caring tone. Yes, Adriana said as she tried to leave. Miss Adriana, I was actually trying to get the chance to talk to you in person. I have 2 extra tickets to a yacht tour around the bay. I was wondering if you, a local, could accompany me, Tony asked politely. Honestly, if it hadn't been for her grandma or Aunt Patricia speaking to her in the bathroom just now, she might have agreed to accompany Tony on the boat tour. But because of what they had said, Adriana couldn't help but feel a hostility towards the man. Mr. Tamano, I think you are fully aware that I am a married woman, Adriana said, showing her ring finger. It's not appropriate to ask a married woman to go out alone. Adriana tried to turn and leave again when Tony grabbed her arm. Miss Adriana, I have no malicious intentions. I simply am looking for a friend from the capital to accompany me, Tony explained. Adriana jerked her arm away from Tony and glared at him. You better make that clear to my family, she warned before finally storming off.